This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Well, a very special delegation that was received at the Sharjah Police Science Academy, and that just happens to be the World Health Organization. They actually were received by Brigadier Abdullah Ibrahim bin Nassar, the Deputy Director General of Resources and Support Services at the Sharjah Police General Command. And this delegation basically presented the WHO's emergency preparedness and response standards to complete the evaluation process of the Health Cities program. And the visit also witnessed the presence of the standards team represented by Colonel Yusuf Al-Harmoudi, Lieutenant Colonel Hamad bin Qasmoul, Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Al-Shamsi, Lieutenant Colonel Imad Al-Murshidi, and its other members as well.
Yeah, and this Sharjah Healthy City program, that journey began in April 2012 when Sharjah's program was registered in the WHO Regional Healthy City Network as part of the vision and efforts of His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasmi, Supreme Council member and ruler of Sharjah. His commitment to put health at the top of Sharjah's development agenda. And after 3 years of implementing the Healthy City program, Sharjah received the title Healthy City by the WHO in 2015 after demonstrating high health development, education, literacy, water sanitation, air cleanliness, and emergency preparedness as well. And the WHO visit now aims to follow up on those factors and look at the remarkable way in which Sharjah has been keeping up with those criteria.
Yep, and according to the WHO, it is a healthy city is defined as one that continuously creates and improves the physical and social environment and expands the community resources for enabling the mutual support amongst the population groups for living, and urbanization is advancing rapidly, but the government resources are not keeping with pace with people's needs. That's according to the WHO and the international groups that speak about the healthy city. Now we are looking at how the Emirate of Sharjah is continuing to fight the COVID-19 situation. And in line with that, Brigadier Abdullah Ibrahim bin Nassar, in fact, the Deputy Director of the General of Resources and Support Services at the Sharjah Police General Command, also received the delegation at the Sharjah Police Science Academy. They presented the standard for emergency preparedness and response to complete the evaluation process within the Healthy Cities program. This came in the presence of the standard team represented by Colonel Yusuf Al-Harmoudi, Lieutenant Colonel Ahmad bin Qasmoul as well, and senior officials from the Sharjah Police who did have that discussion, and they were briefed on the field presentation of the mechanisms, skills, methods and used by police in limiting the spread of the pandemic. We also saw them visiting the various departments in Sharjah Police, and of course we're in the Emirate of Sharjah also very proud of what the Sharjah Police has been doing in terms of the COVID-19 tests that are conducted for Sharjah visa holders. Now, a lot of you might be aware of the Al Gharb police station, or the PCR test unit at the Africa Hall that has moved now to Ramez Mall here in the Halwan / the industrial area of the Emirate of Sharjah, right behind the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, in fact. And that's where most people with the Sharjah visa can get themselves a PCR test, and they have to turn up at the facility, bring a copy of the visa, bring the Emirates ID, and can also get tested. At times, there are specific time slots where they'll only accommodate government workers, so be mindful of when is the right time and the appropriate time to get that PCR test done. But great to see in terms of what Sharjah's been doing and how the WHO has also been satisfied with the infrastructure here. My big question to the WHO team would have been, if I was part of that delegation receiving them, is
the vaccines?
The mixing of vaccines.
Mixing of vaccines, yeah.
Guys, that's a bit of an announcement that you made. And half of the world, or almost half, is like encouraging the double dose of a vaccine, or a mixing of the vaccine, or a booster shot of another manufacturer. And then you've got your spokesperson making a bit of a strange announcement.
Yeah, it's definitely something to mull and consider and think about as well. Something that we're also still digesting as the science behind this continues. and the research into the prospect of mixing vaccines using booster shots as well. There's a lot that's being figured out, and we'll continue following updates from the World Health Organization. But really great to see the way they have praised Sharjah in terms of its continuous development. That's the recent statement from the delegation that's been visiting. They spoke about Sharjah's facilities, the procedures being applied throughout Sharjah as well. And the delegation said that Sharjah's been a role model and a reference for other cities that are subject to evaluation for the Healthy Cities program. And they also said that Sharjah is the first city among MENA countries to complete the conditions and criteria for the Healthy City programs as well. So great to see all of those things being implemented here in the Emirate to ensure the overall healthiness, cleanliness, and the meeting of various sustainability goals across the board.
Yep, very proud moment indeed as we are looking at what's going on in the Emirate of Sharjah as well after the WHO team made field visits to various government facilities, and Sharjah becoming a role model and reference for other cities in the Middle East and North African countries that succeeded in completing the conditions and criteria of the Healthy Cities program. So Sharjah Healthy City stamp is out there for the Emirate. And if you were to be satisfied and happy over the coming few weeks with or in the Emirate of Sharjah, there's two things you could try. It is going down to the Al-Zaid Dates Festival, which kicks off on the 22nd of July, and Eid al-Adha exhibition that is at the Sharjah Expo Centre kicks off, in fact, tomorrow. So if you've not done your Eid al-Adha shopping, well, plenty of time to go down to that market, plenty of different goods to purchase, especially when it comes to clothing and accessories. I know the ladies love their handbags. The gents could like maybe the running shoes for a bit of a summer workout outdoors. You never know. Some great discounts to bag, but it's so much to look forward to for the Eid al-Adha festivities. But one thing that I'm very, very jealous about is people have made a tactical decision to book Thursday and even Sunday off.
Yeah.
So that effectively not only made them a 4-day weekend, they got a whole week off. There's so many people who've done it.
It's the thing. I feel like half the people are
off tomorrow.
Yeah.
The weekend starts, the long holiday starts now. And that's a good way of making yourself healthy. So there you go, Sharjah Healthy City stamp, and take some time off work.
That's 9 days off?
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of people have done
Tactical, strategic. Well, let us know. Text us at 4215 if you've done this. Let us know, and just your overall Eid plans. I think it's going to be a beautiful celebration. I'm glad things are opening up. We got the Sharjah summer promotions kicking off as well. So much to do here in the Emirate.
So much to do in the Emirate, and we'll give you a little bit of a tour guide. Morning Majlis tour guide facilities will be out there right after the news headlines. In fact, we'll pencil in our ideas, and we're inviting you to drop us a text on 4215 for you to share your ideas in terms of what you are planning on doing and how you are planning on celebrating Eid al-Adha, whether you're traveling abroad or you're staying here. You're listening to the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Well, UAE residents will definitely enjoy a 6-day break during Eid al-Adha next week. That is starting from the 19th of July until the 24th of July. That's including a 2-day holiday or weekend. And work for the private sector obviously will resume on Sunday, the 25th of July. And to make the most of this break, a lot are planning to celebrate the occasion right here in the UAE, while others, basically, they have plans to go abroad for the longest break of the year so far. But it's very important to keep in mind how to celebrate it in a very, let's just say, cautious manner. And that's why the UAE public has been urged to follow COVID-19 safety rules when they mark Eid al-Adha because health studies revealed an increase in deaths during previous celebrations. We've seen a 300% rise in the number of daily deaths related to the disease following gatherings for the New Year celebrations. The death rate also doubled from 3 to 6 during Eid al-Fitr. So this is why the health authorities and the UAE government, they're urging people to just strictly follow COVID-19 safety rules when they are celebrating the occasion next week.
Yeah, look, it's very, very important. The reason is Dr. Farid Al-Hassani spoke yesterday about the fact that when Eid al-Fitr happened, we had infections rising to almost 2,000 a day. And that's a result because people were doing those house gatherings, moving around. And now, this time around in Eid al-Adha, the other important aspect is that a lot of people are traveling abroad. And we've seen that within our own circles, within our own, let's say, network as well. People have been planning their travels abroad. Yes, in the United Arab Emirates, we've got the pandemic under control to a large degree as well. Other parts of the world, not so much. Yes, they're vaccinated, but the variance is always a bit of a concern. So you've got to be mindful when you do go abroad, you follow the precautions there, or at least you're aware of the COVID-19 restrictions in those countries so that you don't land yourself in a bit of a situation where you get infected, God forbid, because then your trip is not going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
You'll just be stuck there for a long time, isn't it? It's all it's all going to cost you as well. So the other aspect is they've asked us to be very mindful, safety measures for Eid al-Adha. Prayers will be held for no more than 15 minutes at the mosques, which will close their doors immediately after they've been performed. Eid prayer timings have not been announced yet, but we'll definitely keep you posted in terms of what time you could expect. But nowadays, at least from what I remember from Eid al-Fitr, when you went to the Musalla al-Eid, it all lasted 10 minutes. Within 15 minutes, everything was wrapped up, including the sermon. So things go about very, very quick as well.
Yeah, and people are also urged to avoid gatherings, refrain from shaking hands at Eid prayers, just do your business, maintain a safe distance from the elderly and children under 12 and those with illnesses as well. People are advised to exchange electronic holiday greetings, to avoid the exchange of gifts and food with neighbors because that's a risky behavior. And overall, limit social gatherings, particularly the size of those gatherings. Try not to see as many people during this Eid celebration. And, the fact that malls and public spaces are still open, it's really up to the people to use their personal discretion and be responsible about the way they celebrate the Eid as well. One way to do it is to try and, I know it's really hot, but if outdoor celebrations and venues are a lot better than indoors in terms of COVID transmission, if possible. But if you're somewhere inside, make sure their ventilation's good and there is physical distancing in place. But yeah, it's really up to the individual to determine what is the best place to be and the safest way to celebrate this. And I think we could all use some common sense. And we've been learning a lot about the way this thing has been transmitted, and the authorities have put their trust in us to sort of do this ourselves and self-regulate. And it's going to be a great Eid holiday. We really look forward to it.
Yeah. And we are responsible, just like we always chant. We are definitely responsible. That's why we've come this far, because we've every single individual in this country has taken this his own or her own part in reaching the success that we have in battling this pandemic. So definitely we can do it, and this is something that's in our own hands to maintain the success in battling the pandemic. But that brings us to the next question: what are we doing this Eid holiday? This is going to be the longest holiday of the year so far, and a recent survey, actually, it was released by YouGov. It revealed that 25% of UAE residents, they're planning domestic holidays, while 23% they're looking to have a mix of staycations and international travel for leisure over the next 12 months. Meanwhile, over half the group they surveyed, about 51%, in fact, they're eyeing international holidays. So that is the next question. What are you doing during Eid al-Adha? Text us at 4215. And if you want to call us as well, text us. We'll give you a call as well. Text us with your phone number.
Yeah, we'll give you a call back for sure. Just let us know on the text lines that you would like to do so. And I'm just looking at some of the hotels and venues that are offering, still available at the moment. I just checked on Misk Al Badayr Retreat, Very Desert Resorts, still going. on a good old booking for about 600 to 700 dirhams a night, so not too bad, to be honest. But yes, other resorts and other hotels across the nation will have some inflated prices, so be mindful of that. And if you are one of those who's travelling abroad, let us know on the text lines 4215, or you're thinking of just going for a little bit of a wander. If it's a drive that you're thinking about, let us know.
Or an adventure.
Let us know on the text lines 4215. There's so much to do now and explore, especially with the new motorways that have opened up as well. So the networks are quite good on checking out. But do let us know what your plans are, and we can sort of share the ideas that everyone has. Majlis holiday ideas with them as well.
That's right, and stay tuned to Pulse 95. We've got a lot more stories up next. We'll be talking about stories from around the world, the state of the oil market, demand and supply moving forward. All of that right next on the Morning Majlis. Here's So Am I by Ava Max.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis. It's the Morning Majlis.
Well, a fitness center. It was built with funds donated by star Pakistani cricketer Shahid Afridi. It has become a crucial cog in the wheel of rehabilitation for Dubai patients suffering from long COVID. And the Pakistan Association Dubai-run clinic, it has treated more than 5,000 patients since opening back in October, with growing demand for specialist care to help those hit hard by the virus get back on their feet. Now, the Pakistani cricketer Shahid Afridi, known in the game as Boom Boom because of his big hitting heroics, he endorsed the fundraising project to develop the 20 million dirham center with charity events and auctions. And he raised and donated $1 million, or 1 million dirhams, in fact, to this project, which allowed a sports fitness center to open in his name. And the center has become crucial to the recovery of COVID patients since then.
Yeah, it's great to see this service being offered for free, in fact. So it's absolutely delightful. And to shed light on what acute patients of COVID-19 go through, beyond the high mortality, there are long-term physical impacts and things that people have to manage. And the most dominant feature is when you run out or you have insufficient arterial oxygen supply, it stresses your oxygen transport pathway, and this has grave effects for the body. And in order to alleviate those concerns, a lot of patients need to go through physiotherapy. That has played a key role in improving the patient's ventilation, reduce its impact on oxygen transport and respiratory care, and help people breathe and get oxygen running through their blood again. And that's what the center aims to achieve.
Yeah, look, the Pakistan Medical Center is a very interesting project as a whole, and we'll definitely do an in-depth discussion with them. And we've in fact had some of the volunteers on Pulse 95 before, when we did when I used to host the afternoon Karak show back in the days. Look, after COVID-19, some patients are very unfortunate in terms of how the body has reacted. Some people who've been relied on to go onto ventilators. Oxygen supply obviously not reaching the full parts of the body, and it made walking difficult. I've personally known 2 people within my own household that have had to face this situation, where these people used to walk pretty much every day from Al Majaz up to Souq the central souk. At times they'd walk up to Souq Al Jubal. They used to walk every day. Now they can't even walk from their bedroom to the washroom. So wow. It's intense in terms of what happens and how COVID-19 affects individuals. And now some people have had to rely on physiotherapy, and we can see this in Pakistan Medical Center. They've been approached. People have been provided free physiotherapy. So it's incredible in terms of how the communities come forward and done it. Now, how they raised funds for it is called Own a Brick campaign, where people could buy a brick towards constructing in the medical center, 100 dirhams, 200 dirhams, whatever contribute. It was 1,000 dirham per brick. So people have been contributing their money towards making this clinic a dream come true. It has an annual operational budget of 3.8 million dirhams, and it aims to be self-sufficient within 4 years. So it is an incredible service, and it's not a medical center just for Pakistanis. It's a medical center, as they say, for all communities, and everyone can avail the services there, as it's all done by the community. So if you've got a very severe illness, it's always great to go down and check out the medical center there and maybe get some consultation done at least. But just great to see how the community can come forward and create something so magical.
Absolutely. And some people have actually lost their jobs, so they would not otherwise be able to access health care without the center. So this is incredible what they're doing. And still, as you mentioned, Abdul Karim, rehab from COVID, it's a learning process, and we are only now beginning to understand the full impact on the general patient population from this virus and what it really does to the body. We still don't understand because it differs from one person to another. But people, they also have not been seeing their doctor for some time and may have been living also with high blood pressure or other potential problems like uncontrolled diabetes that can lead to kidney failure and other complications as well. So yeah, we don't know the effect of COVID until now 100%. And as I just said, it's different from one person to another. But it's great to visit such a center, especially for people who are not able to access health care.
It's especially moving that the 24 doctors are working unpaid to manage the uninsured patients. There's also 43 full-time staff managing daily operations. And this thing is running around 90% from donations that come from Pakistan's community, but any nationality can come and visit for treatment as well. The center has an annual operational budget of 3.8 million dirhams and aims to be self-sufficient within 4 years.
Great initiative indeed, and we'll definitely keep you posted, and hopefully we will invite them to talk to us more about their community initiatives here on the Morning Majlis. Well, stay with us on Pulse 95. There's lots to get through this morning. We'll continue our discussions on the program, and up next we talk to you about how Google has been hit with a new fine. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.